bot lane. There's a lot of protection for the Jinx with the Tahm Kench here. Gen.G, very meta, stock standard. The only flex you really see is the Sylas, which has a lot of great ultimates to steal. We're in for a great first game here of League of Legends between these two, and the question marks you always want to see from DRX.
Existing. And so Pyosik now moving up towards this Tri-Brush, spotted of course. And there's another paranoia. Crescent Guard going to be used, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. First blood going over to Cleared.
Did not see him, there's no vision.
Yep, ulti back available. Wind becomes lightning. Gonna stab the Ezreal, but he has the arcane shift. There's the flash on forward. As Life with the dredge line. Super Mega Death Rocket will be enough for BDD. He's down here. Crescent Guard has been picked up by the Sylas, but Solka joins as well, and BDD has to flash away. Ruler without the damage to augment it, and Rascal is just chilling on the top side of the map.
Get a second one in the bag here. Gen.G gonna respond.
Yep. Collapse is coming through here. BDD does have the perfect execution available as the dredge line is going to connect. There's another paranoia from Rascal. Gets into the back line, but the knockups are pretty good here. Solka coming on forward. Rascal going to be taken down first as BDD gets over the wall, but he does not want to be there. And the perfect execution again from Solka is going to come through. Becca maybe a little bit over-ambitious, but isn't going to find the tongue lash. And Gen.G, they lose their solo lanes, and they have to now lose the Drake as well. DRX really starting to take control.
Yeah, DRX, I think, is pretty significant against this comp that's super aggressive. Oh, hold that thought. Here we go. We're going to see it again.
They're going to engage right on top of
exactly
this. Down. Yep, the Crescent Guard comes through yet again, but he's two by himself. The rest of DRX not there. You mentioned the fact that they really want to be grouping to try and stop this from happening.
But yeah,
now they've lost one of the biggest tools, and this is where things really can fall apart.
Yeah,
it looks like Cloud Soul is going to be denied.
What I was going to say is, like, they're using the Jin Zhao and the Wild Growth defensively to then engage after the engage has come on top of them. In this case, though, he was alone. He did get Wild Growth, but the rest of DRX was not there to follow
for this flank play. I believe he is going to be spotted, but no, actually, he's going to move himself back around. Starts the fight as BDD dives on in as well, and the first kill is going to go over to the Jinx. Now Pyosik picks exactly the right time this time as BDD gets out. He's got a heck of a lot of dashes and a flash, but Pyosik's got an audacious charge. And BDD, does he have the Kingslayer back up? It's not going to matter. Bao grabs another one.
The audacity from Pyosik. That fight was so beautiful.
Yeah, and they should be able to take the Baron off the back of this as well.
They will
unless Clid can do something crazy.
There's no way you can stop this. They're going to have to clear these wards out, but I mean, they're going to try something here. Look at where Solka is right now. Crossing this gap is going to be so hard. Ruler is like, he's walking the tightrope.
Yeah, not a lot of mana left as Kingen down relatively low. Pyosik wants to close the gap. They are going to engage onto Clid, who can run really fast. Depth charge. It's already utilized. Life not actually here, so wasn't actually able to do it. And that's the Ezreal just dove on. And a little bit late is Rascal there. He's available, but not in range right now, as here's the turn. In goes the Crescent Guard. No way Life is going to do any damage, as it eventually does wear off. Pyosik goes golden, though he bought so much time, but no kills just yet. In goes the dive as BDD goes golden. Ruler is going to get turned on, though. Solka says absolutely not. There's no re-engage, and BDD unfortunately gets baited in. True Shot Barrage doing a fair bit of damage there as Kingen down quite low, Bao at about half health. But DRX, they're all still up and alive, and all of the pieces to their puzzle are just so good when they're together.
Bao is going to do so much damage to this Baron, it just goes down so quickly. Gen.G have to fight for this, but they don't have the tools to engage.
Yeah, this is so difficult. Clid does have the Smite available, but can he even get into the pit? He doesn't even have Smite.
Wild Growth back up for Kingen. Yeah, just teleports in.
All of his health bar there as well. Like you were mentioning, the teleport going to bring him right into the pit. And there's the engage on the Ruler. They know exactly which one they want to be taking down, as the Nautilus is going to be taken out. And the heal utilized from Ruler, but he gets exhausted, he gets licked, and Pyosik's looking for him. Super Mega Death Rocket, the audacious charge just for the last hit. And finally, at the third time of starting it, the Baron is going to be taken down.
It was such a great fight for DRX. They're really playing the kind of game that terrifies you, right? It's a game that they've come up with this really soft counter, actually, to the Nocturne pick, right? It's the Lulu.
You know, there aren't enough Rulers at this point in time, as the inhibitor turret on the top side of the map is going to be taken down. The pressure here of the 5-man unit. Here is the engage. In goes Rascal, finds himself his stopwatch as Pyosik. Look at him. He's buying space from the entire team, and Gen.G are just melting because Bao is untouched. Gets to Bao, he's still at half health as BDD once again. Stopwatches, Zonya's in the back line. but we've seen this so many times, it's just not enough to actually take down a carry. This is the happiest Jinx that I've seen in such a long time.
Oh, this is just looking like it's the beginning of the end here.
Yep, Koshik in once again. He's going to go down to his GA, so that might have been a little bit overly aggressive, as now the Jinx walking away. That fear lasts for a really long time, but eventually he gets excited. He gets onto these Nexus turrets, and if I was Bao, I'd be excited as well. As, oh my god, the crits are really starting to hurt as the Zap gets soaked by the spell shield, but the Nexus isn't going to be so lucky as Bao is still alive, gets the wild growth right at the end, and the Nexus will fall in favor of DRX. Welcome back, CV Max.
It's the most DRX win you can take in a best of 3 like this. You have Pyoshik on the Xin Zhao, first time in the LCK.
And let's just see where everything's going. Likely that it is going to be Rascal there on the top side with the Nocturne.
There's 2 targets.
And the Volibear jungle.
Yeah, there's 2 targets here in this case that are very vulnerable to the Paranoia dive, Volibear going in. It's the Varus and the Orianna in this case that can end up being...
As Kingen with a fantastic Naba. Gonna try and deny this. Clid coming on in. He's booking it forward. Wind becomes lightning. That is going to be the secure for Clid, but can he keep himself alive? The flash out is there, but Pyoshik's going to be taken down for first blood, and now there's 3 members of Gen.G in the area. BDD over the wall just beautifully, as the wallop ain't going to be enough for Kingen to answer that one back, and that is 2 kills for Gen.G.
Just getting out finessed here.
Really
and
nicely
hey,
done.
Now Kingen, he's pushed this wave up, but you can see Ruler and Life, they're going to join, and Kingen's just going to have to bail. I don't know whether he's actually spotted what's going on here, and it looks like the answer is going to be no. It's a bit of a wraparound.
It's like Becca couldn't even believe it. Like, he walked over.
All right, in goes the Paranoia immediately. Not messing around, flashing straight away, but it ain't going to be enough. Pop goes the Nah, and Pyoshik says, nah, I ain't going to be able to get in there, my friend. I'm sorry. 3-0 in favor of Gen.G.
That DRX get after that exchange. Foul.
Yeah, and you can see Pyoshik over the wall. Rascal has been discovered. BDD's just going to get out of there as the teleport is going to come in. Rascal flashes, but I don't think he's... Oh my goodness! Very, very close. But Pyoshik, no cigar this time around. Ruler's going to have to flash Shockwave onto 2. That one was better, Solka. And both of them get mopped up. The bottom lane just dies in seconds.
And I guarantee...
DRX are on the board.
I guarantee you Rulers were getting his choice to pick teleport
towards this turret and actually do a fair bit of damage to it as well with the extra damage that Bao does have. So able to chunk the turret as Pyoshik goes in. A little bit of a disconnect there though as the Shockwave finds absolutely nothing. The same thing is going to be said for Pyoshik, who is going to be taken down. BDD on the board now. Life goes golden, but now could be out of position. Hail of arrows and Sulfur are going to be enough here as there's the Nara into the wall. Kingen wasting no time as the ult comes down. Bao flashes immediately. The tongue's not quite long enough there from Becca. He needed to get that evolution to Licky, I think, at that point. As Gen.G, they get the teleport in. They're now underneath the turret. They've got Shirley here to back them up. And if they don't have their big Grizzly, anything against it. Now Pyoshik looking for an opportunity here potentially on the top side of the map as Bao down the half health. There's Devour available, but maybe waited a little bit too long as the Grey Health is going to be there immediately. As he comes out of the belly, it is going to be a dead Varus, and Shockwave lands onto 2, but doesn't really do too much. Pyoshik now just trying to be the hero. BDD going to be taken down. Sulker is over the wall, but Pyoshik is real dead this stage of the game as Kingen throws a rock, but he doesn't really have much more in the tank. And Gen.G are looking to just start off this Baron in the faces of DRX.
I mean, it's a really early Baron, but when you get those kills like that, I mean, you've only lost your Akali damage onto a Baron. You're very happy to take this down in 20 minutes, 20 and a half. It was a really nice fight for Gen.G, and once again, it's a real small mistake that leads to such a massive victory for Gen.G. Bao, as Varus, is just way out of position into a composition that will collapse and execute him so quickly. You can't always just feel like, okay, I got my bodyguard with me. If I'm with Kench, I'm safe.
Maybe it's time to go back to the root cause of the situation as Ruler finds a true shot barrage on some air, and BDD is just diving into a backline once again. Goes golden this time, Paranoia into the backline, and there is no Orianna to speak of for this fight. BDD's still fighting this one out, and he is looking to be able to escape as well as Bao. Survives for a lot longer than I was expecting in a lot of these fights, however, still not going to survive for long enough. 3 dead on the side of DRX, Kingen and Becca. Not a lot that they can offer to this one, and it's going to be the 3rd Drake for Gen.G. And their second.
Let's not forget, it could have been Nocturne first pick, could have seen a completely different depth of the DRX.
All right, in the meantime, Rascal is going to be spell shielding quite beautifully. The Shockwave here on the bottom side of True Shot Barrage says goodbye to Sulker. His Rule is going to pick that one up. Says thank you very much. I thought delivery here in Korea was fantastic. Ruler absolutely proving it. As now Gen.G just going to be sieging
even further under control of Gen.G, and they might even be able to push to win with this.
Yep, it should be the case. And I think the DRX know that it is all but over. Very comfortably taking that one down. And yeah, they get the bad news by the big old scream. DRX now just moving towards their bottom side jungle. BDD's here. There's the paranoia. Wanting to put them out of their misery by the looks of things here as Rascal going down relatively low. Yoshik actually keeping himself alive, but the Barrett's not going to be so lucky. A 1-for-1 for now, but BDD's managed to pick up a second. Becker in trouble. The flash out of the way of the Shuriken backflip, and that could have definitely been the start of a potential pentakill, but there is the Arcane Shift over the wall. Ruler.
He doesn't flash for it, you know. He's going to show them a little bit of respect. He's just going to sit here and wait for the rest of his team and these Baron minions to hit the inhibitor. And that is going to be what looks like all she wrote for this second game.
Yeah, Gen.G going to bring us to a 3rd. We are going the distance here. The rains are at pause. We were talking about the weather before. And it is certainly pouring.
Yeah, you asked me the last time I used the landline. Do you remember the last time we talked about using the landline? I kind of want to go back to that time.
It was quite some time ago. Quite some time ago. As DRX, they're trying to put up the defense.
Even the true shot here is good.
Oh yeah.
It stays true.
Everything absolutely hurts right now. They don't exactly have a lot of siege. Yes, Ruler can poke and things like that, but his range isn't necessarily fantastic.
Their siege is the siege minions and the 11,000 gold lead.
Kingen, as a bit of a whoopsie, is relatively tanky as the Shockwave is going to come forward. That is the Varus dead though. They're underneath a few turrets here at the same time as the Paranoia was held onto for a beautiful amount of time. The ultimate was running, so unfortunately didn't do a lot of damage. But still, Rascal's just playing with his food at this stage, and the 2 Nexus turrets are all that stand between Gen.G and victory in game number 2, outside of, I guess, the Master Chef Tom Kench, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop this. Nexus now going to be taking the damage, and Gen.G even things up. You could feel the anger. You could feel how much they felt they deserved to win game number 1, and that was the anomaly. This is the real deal. And when they were closing in on that base, it was a 10,000 gold lead, and that one was looking
a real big. I want to say test, but I feel like that's not a fair word to use with BDD, who's actually a storied player. He's a legend, our top 3 mid laner here in the LCK, but it's going to be a very difficult game for BDD to actually survive the Lucian priority that's
by about 2,000 gold. There's still options.
Life says, please don't back, but it's too late to back. They're still going to look for something here.
Kingen is relatively far up. Does have Flash available and Wild Growth, so it's deceptively durable.
Yeah, he's also 2 levels up on Clid, and Life is...
There's the Flash, though, and the hook is going to be so easy.
Man.
All right, yep. The stunned Yuumi. 100%, I agree.
His reaction time was just a little bit late there. I feel like he certainly could have lived that. Didn't use his Flash, didn't use his Wild Growth. He just...
Yeah, he's got chains a couple of ults and does make it far enough towards his inner turret. Yoshik comes round as well. True Shot Barrage connects onto Rascal. There's the bear slap. Hook happens once again. Life and Clid together playing really beautifully here as Crescent Guard was okay, but a little bit late.
Feels so vindicating if you're a Gen.G fan after watching that first game to watch them just outclass mechanically DRX in 2 and 3.
Oh, there it is! Catches him in the flash, the playback as well. Life is a beast right here. However, the Azir is still going to fall. It's worth it.
I mean, this is just a highlight reel for Gen.G, right? You know,
that's 2 for 1 because Pioshi was still dead. Sorry.
This is basically just becoming Gen.G's you know, red carpet they're walking down to the late game because they've out-macroed DRX, they've had better rotations, and yes, they ended up being
This is actually what Gen.G calls an early game comp.
Yes, I guess so.
Because it's Gen.G. right? They always play for the late game. This is about as early game as you're going to get, but damn, Life just, that's like 3 plays in a row that is now like put them at 5,000 gold in the lead and probably just going to win.
Yep, I mean, I think this game is probably over. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He's in a bit of trouble here, as he does throw down some circles, but Hula Hoops ain't going to save you here. McGwen is going to fall. So Pioshik on the board now, couple of kills. Sorry, 1. I was looking at the other jungler. It's been a long day.
It has.
Oh my goodness.
We're at 11:30 now. You and I have been here for 8 hours now. But anyway, the Eclipse here, I think, like you said, it's an adaptation. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't think it will be. In 25 seconds, that was for DRX.
Yeah, he's certainly on walkabout. Teleport is going to come forward here as Rascal wants to get some revenge. And Crescent Guard comes in, but he's still going to get stunned. The hook is going to connect, and that's exactly the target he's looking for. Goshik ain't feeling so audacious now as Rascal fighting against 3 people, or 2.5, I guess.
This is, you could see the frustration in some of these plays from DRX. They're desperate to make that bot duo push something, and there were literally DRX pings, question mark pings from his own teammates on top of him, and I don't think that was saying, we don't know where they are, or they might be here. I think it's saying, why are you there? Because he was there, and then he wasn't. Somehow he disappeared with Lulu off the map, and now Gen.G are looking to take a Baron. And it feels really sad because I think this comp for DRX has really shown its age in terms of a best of 3. You had this answer to Nocturne. They didn't play it.
Not quite.
Nope. They had the answer to Nocturne.
Half health after 1 zap, I believe. Or was that just an auto attack? It might have just been, as there's the Emperor's Divide. BDD in a bit of trouble here. Good knock up. But there is, of course, a stopwatch available. Solka gets over the wall. Pioshik in trouble. The final chapter. It doesn't even seem to matter here as Gen.G are just immortal at this stage of the game. The bear slap onto Kingen, and he just gets phoenixed to death. Bao now running for the hills. And this is going to be all she wrote on this one. Gen.G, they were the expected victors in this series after game 1. I think there was a bit of doubt in some people's minds, as there it is, the Technicolor Hula Hoop coming out to celebrate the end of this game and the match 1 victory for Gen.G here. DRX made them work for it, but certainly coming back when it counted on the side of Gen.G, as the Nexus will finally be taken down here just before midnight.
Yep.
Thursday night.
You could see Solka puts his head in his hands, puts his head on the desk. That was not the game, that was not the draft that DRX were trying to look for. They tried again to counter the Nocturne that didn't get picked, the Nocturne they banned. They couldn't salvage the draft, and you know, we ended up seeing an Eclipse Lucian. We ended up seeing